Welcome to the Forever Better Academy podcast, where you will be given the principles, tools, and techniques to reach the next stage on your journey of self-mastery. Who could you become? I'm your host, Wade Vincent. Hey guys, without the right connections, the circuit cannot function. Right, so I'd love to dive into this with you guys today because ultimately we can imitate and replicate those same kind of conditions, right, in a circuit. So for those of you that aren't aware or are new to the podcast, my name is Wade Vincent, and you are here with us on the Forever Better Academy podcast, where we go through the tools, techniques, and principles that will help you to reach the next level on your own journey of self-mastery. Okay, so without further ado, today what I want to go through, right, is, as I said, talking through the analogy of a circuit and the connections that allow the circuit to work, right? So we all want to be viewed as valuable or have something to contribute, right, in society. I think most people would be in agreement that it's important to, bring something to the table. What do we have to offer? How do we contribute to society as a whole? And, one of the ways that has been extremely helpful for me in my life and career that I think will be also extremely valuable to you guys that you can use instantly, no matter how good you are at a specific skill set, or whether you're brand new and you're trying to grow and build your professional network and just become, more of an established member of society, for want of a better way to explain it. So ultimately, right, as I say, we all want to, bring value to the equation, right? So the thing here that I want to talk through today is really ultimately finding the right connections and serving as an invaluable conduit between them, right? So if you think of like any circuit, right? When the circuit is broken, it doesn't operate anymore, right? There's the electricity doesn't flow. What needs to occur can't occur because there's a gap. There's something missing. It needs a connector between the two channels to operate efficiently and to continue doing what it's intended to do, right? I know there's probably electricians that are listening to this being like, man, you really need to go back to the drawing board and understand circuits, but it doesn't really matter in depth. What matters is the concept that I'm sharing with you guys today, right? So if you look at something I feel we've probably all experienced in life, especially when you're youthful, very young and still in school and you're confident and it almost feels like a default stance to believe you can do anything, right? And that should be the default stance, 100%. That should be what you believe, because you absolutely can. The only reason that we start to believe we can't do the things that we think we can achieve is because someone else puts this false notion in our head or some belief pattern that we can't do it because it makes them feel bad about themselves because perhaps they tried something and failed and they didn't achieve it. So they project onto you, right? And that's, a lot of people that do that, it's not malice, right? They don't do it, some people may well do it out of spite, but I believe most people generally don't do those things or shut someone down because they're just trying to be bitter and mean. They just, in their experience, they've tried things that haven't worked, and they, oftentimes believe that they're doing you a favor and saving you the pain and heartache of the failure they went through, right? So it's a big one, right? All of us at some point in our lives have experienced somebody telling us that you can't be involved in something you have no domain expertise in, right? Like right now, I'm talking about using the analogy of a circuit, right? And as I said, someone will tell me I shouldn't be talking about this because I don't know what I'm talking about. That's not the case at all, right? I don't need to know in depth wattage and amplification of power and alternating currents and direct currents and all. I don't need to explain that for this to have value and make sense as an analogy, right? So what's key is you got to shut out those, first and foremost. Got to shut out that sound, that noise from other people, right? You're always going to have those naysayers that tell you that whatever you've decided that you want to do or you're going to do or that you can do, when they tell you that you can't, just water off a duck's back, let it brush off. That's great. They don't believe they can, we'll let them sit there and not focus and not achieve anything while you go out and prove them wrong. Use it, ammunition, right? It served me well. I'm competitive by nature, and I don't like people to tell me, that I can't do something. It served me well, and ultimately, if it's a driver that gets you the result, yeah, I'd love to prove people wrong. Absolutely. If you say, Wade, you can't do that, watch me. That's the best way to be about it, right? Don't let other people and their opinions, stop you from achieving your own greatness, right? So, and on the back of that, right, internally, a lot of us struggle with that that belief that that in order for you to be valuable to somebody or a certain scenario, that you have to be the person who directly solves the problem, right? Not the case at all. I can sit here and tell you unequivocally that is not true at all, right? Now, a good example of this in my roles in sales, my job has been to find solutions for people, understand what is the problem that you're facing, and then realize, bring together, orchestrate, create a solution for you to that problem. And at no point is it specified anywhere that I have to be the person that is the direct line that solves the problem at the end point, right? So what do I mean by that? So for example, in selling software, I can find a solution for people to their problem by utilizing software applications, but I don't write the software applications. I'm not a programmer. I don't know code. I couldn't tell you the difference between, C# and PHP and Ruby on Rails. I have no idea. I know of them, but I have no idea the difference. All I know is that I have developed a skill set where I focus on being a problem solver for people, right? Being that circuit amplifier. How do I take the end of the circuit here being the problem and the end of the circuit over this side being the solution and connect them? That's it. That's my focus, right? And it's an ability that I think everyone has, right? Everyone has this capability, right? You most certainly can solve problems for not only yourself, but for other people, provided you are committed to whatever it takes to find the solution. That's simple, right? This is it's a game changer for you when you start to take the pressure off yourself of believing that you have to be the person that is the direct person who can solve the problem. right? Everyone plays their role in the equation, in the circuit, right? We all have our place in the circuit to complete the flow, right? For things to work and operate as according, we all have that capability, right? We all have a place within it. And to believe that you have to directly be the person to solve that problem doesn't serve you well at all, right? It doesn't matter. You can solve problems purely with your commitment and your striving to do so. Right now, like for example, right, this is will flow into the whole conversation around network, right? It's I don't need to be a plumber to help someone who's having a problem with their home plumbing, right? But I know plumbers, I know people that are great at what they do, that run their own businesses, that I can put them in contact with that other person. And this is the key thing, right? This is the beauty in this equation, right? Where I got to keep saying, I got to say circuit. I keep going back to the maths thing, right? But this is the beauty of connecting and completing the circuit, right? Not only are you solving the problem for the person over this side that has a challenge that they need to overcome, but the person on this side who has the solution, you're finding the solution for them too, because they also have a problem, being that they need people with problems that their solution fixes, right? Doubly valuable. Instantly increase your value as a circuit amplifier, right? And that's what the concept is, and this is why I've titled today's episode, becoming a circuit amplifier, right? This is what it's all about. You have become so valuable to the person with the problem because you are now their go-to, or potentially their go-to when they have a problem, because you have proven yourself that you can solve this problem that they have. Maybe you could solve other problems that they have, right? The ideas start to tick over in their head and think, maybe, Wade is the go-to, or whoever, whatever your name is the go-to, right? And then on top of that, on the other side, right, of the circuit, you've got that person that maybe, is a good friend, and you're supporting them, and you're finding business and opportunities for them and helping them to support their family and grow their opportunities, because you're bringing business to that person, or you're bringing opportunity to that person as well. Super powerful, right? How valuable and important are you in the circuit as the connector between those two? Right, you're taking, you're not just closing a circuit to keep things moving. You're taking into account both ends of the circuit, and how to empower that whole transaction, that whole scenario. Right, you have a responsibility to help both sides. Right now, the first challenge you're going to have with this, right, is like anything, right? When you're starting out, and I've talked about this in other episodes, but this concept is, it's relevant, I guess, to many of these new skills that you're learning. Is you start from zero, right? You always have to start at the beginning, right? So the challenge, right, at the beginning is building a reliable reputation and proving yourself, right? So if we take that same scenario that I'm discussing, where you're connecting the person who has a problem that needs, a plumber, and you're connecting that plumber who's started out their business and needs work, you have to prove yourself and go through these scenarios and connect people in order for you to build that reputation, right? It's going to start from zero. There's no reason that either party necessarily will believe that you can deliver upon the promise that you have said you can, right? So you have to, take their trust into account and don't let them down. If someone gives you the opportunity and the chance to prove yourself and help build your credibility and your reputation and solve those problems, don't let them down. Go above and beyond, right? Because in serving these people, you're also serving yourself and creating more opportunities for yourself off the back of the opportunities and the solutions you've provided for these other two people, these two parties, right? So you must, yeah, and okay, on this point to start, right? If you, as I say, as you're beginning, work within your network. Right? You don't need to know a lot of people, right? You might not have a go-to solution for any problem that anyone puts in front of you, right? That takes time to build that capability. But right now, I'm sure you know a few people. Most of us have a friend that runs a business that needs a leg up, that needs some help, and needs some support. Everyone has problems. If you get good at listening, it's very easy to discover how many problems, which I like to also refer to as opportunities, actually exist around you in your day-to-day, everywhere around you. Listen. Start to talk less and listen to what people around you are saying, and you'll start to hear and identify patterns and problems that are common, right? Even down to not even trying to solve unique, different problems every single time, right? You may well start to hear that even just locally, right, in your community where you live. I'm sure that the people that live with you have similar experiences as you do in that in the suburb you live in, or that little community, and there's more than one person with the same problem in the same area, right? Start there. Find out what problem can you solve, play to your strengths, and connect people. That's the key, right? It's such a game changer. This changes and makes opportunities and doorways just open up right before your very eyes. I promise you, the more you connect people, the more valuable you become to those people, because ultimately humans are driven by the need to connect with one another. And if you're seen as that person, that conduit between others that can bring people together, your potential value to society as a whole is limitless. Right? That's what society is based on, connection with one another. Right? So if you can find and identify just even those small, simple problems that are common within your network, right? You got to start within your area, what you can manage. I've always liked the saying, start where you are with what you have and do what you can, right? You may not have all the resources and power and connections in the world, but you don't need them to solve problems. Every level there's problems and solutions. No matter where you are in life, there is opportunity for you to take action on this content and information that I'm sharing with you right now. Right? So when you start to solve those problems, you have this great realization, right? As I said, you don't need to be the person who solves the problem directly. And when you have that realization that you have this capability and all you need to do is find the solution to the problem that the person is experiencing, you're empowered. Right? Game changer. You have power to change your situation, your life, your ability to be a person of influence and connect others. Right? Really cool stuff, right? So when you do this, the next logical step, right? As I said, go in search of common problems. Find out. I'm sure, even starting down to if you don't know many people, what are the problems that you're currently experiencing, right? What are the things that you wished you had a solution for? I guarantee you are not the only person that experiences those problems. Even if you don't have connections or a group of people or access to others that can show you that problem is bigger than just the problem you have, right? So let's say you're starting out, you don't know a lot of people, you don't have great connections, and you don't even know necessarily that you know can find people that have a solution to the problem. Test the waters, right? I find put it out there. Hey guys, put on everyone that's watching this has a connection to internet and social media, right? Put it out there. Hey guys, I am having this problem. I'm experiencing this. This is a frustration I'm having that I would love to solve. Who else has this problem, right? Who do you guys feel like I do? Is this a frustration to you, right? Now this is going to work twofold. You're going to get people who come in and say, yeah, I have that problem too. It's frustrating, right? So you're starting to test the waters, test the market, put that information out and see, is that problem, a big enough problem for other people to want to solve as well, right? So you're finding the people that you might not realize you're connected to that have that problem, and you're starting to test the validity of the problem. Is this something that requires a solution that enough people have a need for, that a solution would potentially become a business, right? And two, you'll start to see people be like, hey, I don't have that problem, but I can fix that problem, right? Something is simple. Ask the question, right? Even if you, as I say, you just start building your friend network. Jump on Facebook, jump on Snapchat or TikTok or whatever you're on, and start connecting with people and talk to them. Find out more about them. Be interested. Be invested in their lives. And when you do that and you learn more about them, your circle grows. And when you know about people and you genuinely care about them, you can start putting them together, right? To be a connector in society is a powerful thing. When you can start, helping people and bringing people together, exponential change in your life. I promise you, right? And here's like a great example of this, right? I'm currently reading the book's just sitting down on my couch over there. Richard Branson, right? Losing My Virginity, right? His autobiography. I think it's the first one, and he's wrote a subsequent follow up to it now. The start of Virgin Airlines. If you haven't heard this story, right? Branson, I think, was stranded in Puerto Rico, and their flight got cancelled. Couldn't get out, and realized he had a problem, exactly like the same scenario I'm talking about. Had this problem, and decided, now I'm in the airport sitting here with this problem that needs a fix. Maybe other people are experiencing the same thing as I am. So Richard Branson went out and basically asked who else would be interested in jumping on a plane that he could charter to get everyone out of here. And everyone that was there was like, yeah, fantastic idea. I want to get out of here too. Right? So instantly found the demand, the need was there, and then, found the supply. He became the circuit amplifier, chartered his own plane. The airline couldn't find a solution for them, right? He's in an airport and the airline couldn't find a solution. So this man found out other people who all were prepared and willing to chip in money to solve the problem that they all had as a common experience, and chartered their own plane and solved the problem. And that was the birth of Virgin Airlines. Incredible, right? Did Richard Branson sit there and wonder and wait and let the airline tell him that there was no solution? No, he didn't. He took matters into his own hands, right? Imagine you take the same action in this very day, right? Right now, you go out after you finish listening to the podcast or watching this video, and you do the exact same thing and find that problem. Imagine what it could be, the birth of a company or an opportunity for you to grow your own business, what this could create. Who knows, right? Who knows what could come when people start to see you as a person who can solve problems and connect others, right? I'm telling you, this is an easiest way to find the path to success, right? Creating value for other people by solving their problems and connecting the people who can solve their problems. As I said, you don't even need to be the person. Richard Branson wasn't a pilot. He didn't fly the plane out of there, but he knew that he could bring those two ends of the circuit together and solve the problem, right? Simple stuff, right? It doesn't have to be a complicated concept for it to be valuable and powerful and make an impact, right? So the only challenge, as I say, is going to be starting out with a small network. But that's easily overcome, right? The more that you do this, right, as you become a connector of others, you become crucial in the chain. The chain can't operate or function without you, right? The circuit is broken until you connect the two ends, put the pieces together, and the current flows once again, right? And everyone is happy, things are working as intended because you were a circuit amplifier. You became that person in the middle that could, bring the two together, right? And ultimately, this snowballs, right? Your reputation will start to precede you. People will start to hear about, did you hear? Wade was the guy that solved my problem. I had this massive drama, and he took care of it. He found someone who could solve my problem, and it saved my life. I was in big trouble, and he took care of it. And now I know when I have a problem, I can rely on him and go to him, and he can fix things for me. Wouldn't that be cool to have that as the way that people viewed you? Would that not make you feel like a person that has a purpose and value and feel fulfilled in life when you know that you can improve other people's lives by fixing their problems? It's that simple, right? It's an easy thing. I know, and I say this almost like half jokingly, that it's so easy, but it truly is, right? If you adopt this and take on this mindset and embrace it, the change that you will feel and see in your life will surprise and amaze you where your life can go with this, right? Now, and I promise you, right, this is the fastest way for you to bring value to others. You will be more valuable to other people and yourself, and everything that you've ever desired will be a byproduct of this. If you focus on people first before yourself, and you can go above and beyond and commit to finding solutions for others and connecting people, you will have an absolutely amazing and wonderful life, I promise you. All right, guys, that's probably a good place to wrap it up today. I think there's a lot here. Play it back, go over this again. Take some notes. Like it's always helpful to listen through or watch these episodes of the Forever Better Academy podcast more than once. Like it's like that thing where you may pick up on something you didn't hear the first time around, right? Okay. And as always, guys, I say this every time. I want you to own this, believe it, right? Who could you become? The person that you were yesterday does not need to be the person that you are tomorrow. Okay? All right, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for giving me some of your time, and I hope that you got value from this in exchange for the time you've shared with me today. I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Every Friday there are new episodes of the podcast, and until then, stay safe, be kind to one another, and do your very best to become who you're meant to be. All right, guys. Talk soon.